Good morning, students. Under CET coaching, today we will be taking up English comprehension. And under English comprehension, we'll be taking up the topic one word substitution. So first of all, we should know what this word substitution means. So as the word suggests, when we are trying to replace a long and a wordy phrase in order to make it more easy and in order to be more understandable. In that case, we use few single words or one word, which is referred to as one word substitution. The meaning with the replacement of the phrase remains identical while the sentence becomes shorter. So this is the major advantage that why we are using this one word substitution. I'll support this thing with one example. For example, there is a sentence which reads that my friend drives me in a car around town. This is a little long sentence with lot many words in it. But if we want to simplify it, we can read it out it as, my friend chauffeurs me around town. Meaning remaining the same, but we had replaced the word that drives me in a car with the word chauffeurs. So those four words, they are being simplified into a single word, that is chauffeur. So by using one word, we have minimized the size of the entire phrase, and we have also made it more simplified. We have simplified it to understand. Okay. So there are certain categories under which we use one word substitution. As you can see on the slide, there are around 8 categories under which we can classify them. First is generic words. Words which we use in our day-to-day life for common understanding and common conversation. Next is government system, where there are certain organization or certain way in which government functions, and there is a certain nomenclature given to it. So over there we use, there is this category, that is government system. Next is venue or spot or place, that what a particular place is known as. For example, a place where horses, they are being kept. So instead of writing and speaking it out in this way that this is a place where horses are being kept, we can just use a single word that this is a stable. So this is another category. Next category is group or collection. Group of people, group of organizations, group of birds, group of animals. So even that group is being signified with a name. Next category is people or person. Any person who specializes in, suppose, in treatment of teeth. So that person is known as doctor. So that entire one phrase where we are calling out a person who is treating any specialization. So we are using it with one name, that is either he's a dentist or he's a gynecologist or he's a psychiatrist. So those terms, they are coming under this category of people and person. Next is murder or death. The way in which these words, they are being signified, they are again categorized into certain substitution. Then apart from that, another category is of professionals / research. People who are there in one particular field or any profession or any specific area, they are being dignified and they are being named with certain nomenclature. For example, a person who teaches in school is referred to as teacher. A person who treats Sick people is referred to as doctors. Thus, all those people or individuals in that particular profession or research, they are being again assigned with certain one word. Then after that, we have another category that is of sound, the way in which the sound is being created. For example, whistle, it is one sound, but if we have to explain it or write in a general words, then it can be written as any sound made from mouth or from any object through which that sound can be made. So in one word, we can use it as a whistle. Further in detail, we'll be studying about all these groups in our further slides. Now, first of all, we'll start with the first category, that is of generic terms. For example, an act of abdicating or renouncing the throne. This entire phrase can be substituted by one word, that is abdication. Next phrase is, it reads out that an annual calendar containing important dates and statistical information such as astronomical data and tide tables. So that calendar, what is it known as? It is referred to as almanac. Most of you must have studied from APS, and in most of the APSs, the name of the diary, it is being named in different way. So just one example where APS NOIDA, the diary is termed as almanac. Okay. So that almanac word means that it is the annual calendar which is containing important dates and statistical information. Okay. Then after that, we have another phrase which says a cold-blooded vertebra, animal that is born in water and breathes with gills. It is referred to be as amphibian. Next is a story, poem, or picture that can be interpreted to reveal a hidden meaning, typically a moral or political one. So it is referred to as, one word substitution will be allegory. Next is a statement or proposition on which an abstractly defined structure is based. It is referred to as axiom. Right? So these are few words which I'm giving you over here, which these are few phrases and their one word substitution, which can be used in our daily life, or if you are being provided with any passage in your CET examination or in any other competitive examination. So this will provide you certain base, and it will guide you on how to replace it with a particular word. So moving on with the next phrase, where it reads out, a nation or person engaged in war or conflict as recognized by international law. This entire phrase can be substituted by the word belligerent. Another word, another phrase, that an examination of tissue removed from a living body to discover the presence, cause, or extent of a disease. So that most of us, we know that it is referred to as biopsy, where we take out this small portion of tissues from a body, from the living body, to identify and to diagnose. Okay. Next phrase is the action or offense of speaking sacrilegiously about God or sacred things. It is referred to as blasphemy. The arrangement of events or dates in order of their occurrence can be substituted with one word, that is chronology. Next, a vigorous campaign for political, social, or religious change. So this campaign can be substituted with the word crusade. something which is lasting for very short time. So that is used as ephemeral, something which lasts for very short time. Next, spoken or done without preparation. So we call it as extempore, when we speak out on the spot without any preparation, without any idea. Next is release someone from duty or obligation. It is referred to as exonerate. Next is fond of company. It can be animal, people. So those who want to live in company together with, along with other individuals, it is referred to as gregarious. Right? So these are the few words. There are further more words which we'll cover. Next is making marks that cannot be removed. It is indelible. Incapable of making mistakes or being wrong is infallible. Something which is certain to happen. It is referred with the word inevitable. A sentimental longing or wistful affection for a period in the past is referred to as nostalgia. When we say that we are having nostalgic feeling when we watch old movies or old photographs with our families, we have that nostalgic feeling because our sentiments are being attached to the past. Next is a solution or remedy for all difficulties or disease is referred to as panacea. A doctrine which identifies God with the universe, pantheism. Excessively concerned with minor details or rules can be substituted with one word, that is pedantic. The practice of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as one's own work. Yes, very much in research, which is plagiarism. Something which is safe to drink, potable. The emblems or insignia of royalty, regalia. Violation or misuse of what is regarded as sacred, sacrilege. A position requiring little or no work, but giving the holder status or financial benefit. Sinecure. A thing that is kept as a reminder of a person, place, or event. Souvenir. An imaginary ideal society free of poverty and suffering is utopia, because it is imaginary. It's not real. Everywhere there are sufferings, everywhere there are pains. Denoting a sin that is not regarded as depriving the soul of divine grace. It is venial. And the phrase in exactly the same words as were used originally, verbatim, word by word. Okay, so these were certain generic terms, the phrases which can be substituted with certain words. So these are certain examples. After that, we come over to government systems. That is one word substitution for government system. So a state of disorder due to absence of non-recognition of authority or other controlling systems can be minimized in a word, that is anarchy. Another form of government in which power is held by the nobility is referred to as aristocracy. A system of government by one person with absolute power is referred to as autocracy. Next, a self-governing country or region, autonomy. A system of government in which most of the important decisions are taken by state officials rather than by elected representatives. It is referred to as bureaucracy. Next system, where the whole population or all the eligible members of a state, typically through elected representatives. So that kind of government is referred to as democracy. A state, society, or group governed by old people Gerontocracy. Gero means old, right? So you should also be aware about the base meaning of the keywords. Next, a state or country run by the worst, least qualified, or most unscrupulous citizens. This catistocracy. Even the name is sounding a little unscrupulous. Next, government by new or inexperienced hands. Neocracy. New is just born or just taken into shape or just taken the idea. So when inexperienced people, they run the government, it is referred to as that kind of governance is referred to as neocracy. Then government by the populace. Ochlocracy. A small group of people having control of a country or organization. Oligarchy. Government by the wealthy. Plutocracy. Government not connected with religious or spiritual matters is secular. So that country or government is secular government. A form of government with a monarch at the head is monarchy. Or a political system based on the government of men by God is thearchy. So those were the one-word substitution for government organizations. Next category is of venue or spot. So a collection of historical documents or records providing information about a place, institution, or group of people. This entire phrase, it can be summarized through one word, that is archive. Next, a large cage, building, or enclosure to keep birds is aviary. So aviary is for birds. And where a building where animals are butchered is abattoir. A place where bees are kept is apiary. A building containing tanks of live fish is aquarium. A place or scene of activity, debate, or conflict is referred to as arena. A collection of weapons and military equipment can be substituted by one word, that is arsenal. An institution for the care of people who are mentally ill is referred to as asylum. A hole or tunnel dug by a small animal, especially a rabbit as a dwelling, is referred to as burrow. And a collection of items of the same type stored in a hidden or inaccessible place is cache. Hidden place, like in your system also, you must be aware about this word cache, something which is hidden. So a public room or building where gambling games are played is referred to as casino. A large burial ground, especially one not in a churchyard, cemetery. A room in a public building where outdoor clothes or luggage may be left is referred to as cloakroom, which you usually find at stations or airports, where we can keep our stuff, keep our luggage for some time. Next phrase is a place where a dead person's body is cremated is referred to as crematorium. A Christian community of nuns living together under monastic vows. It is referred to as convent. Nursery, where babies and young children are cared for during the working day, is referred to as creche. So these are certain venues or spots, and one specific word specifies the meaning, right? Similarly, going ahead, a stoppered glass container into which wine or spirit is decanted is referred to as decanter. A large bedroom for a number of people in a school or institution is referred to as dormitory. The nest of a squirrel, typically in the form of a mass of twigs in a tree, is referred to as dray. A room or building equipped for gymnastics, games, and other physical exercise, gymnasium. A storehouse for threshed grain, granary. A large building with an extensive floor area, typically for housing aircraft. It is referred to as hangar. Next, a box or cage, typically with a wire mesh front for keeping rabbits or other small domesticated animals, is referred to as hutch. Then a place in a large institution for the care of those who are ill. It is infirmary. A small shelter for a dog, kennel. A place where wild animals live, lair. A place where coins, medals, or tokens are made, mint. A collection of wild animals kept in captivity for exhibition, menagerie. A building or buildings occupied by a community of monks living under religious vows is monastery. A place where bodies are kept for identification is morgue. A piece of enclosed land planted with fruit trees, orchard. A large natural or artificial lake used as a source of water supply is reservoir. A close-fitted cover for the blade of a knife or sword, sheath. A room or building for sick children in a boarding school, sanatorium. A place where animal hides are tanned, tannery. And a large tall cupboard in which clothes may be hung is wardrobe. So this is about place and spots. Next group under one word substitution is for collection or group of something. So what it is? A group of guns or missiles launchers operated together at one place is referred to as battery. A large bundle bound for storage or transport as bale. A large gathering of people of a particular type, BV. An arrangement of flowers that is usually given as a present, bouquet. A family of young animals, brood. A group of things that have been hidden in a secret place, cache. A group of people, typically with vehicles or animals traveling together, caravan. A closed political meeting, caucus. An exclusive circle of people with a common purpose, clique. Those who have studied statistics, they must be aware about this word clique, where, or in sociology, you must have heard, where a group of people who are having common purpose or common base, it is referred to as clique. Then a group of followers hired to applaud at a performance, claque. A series of stars, constellation. A funeral procession, cottage. A group of worshippers, congregation. A herd or flock of animals being driven in a body is drove. A small fleet of ships or boats, flotilla. A small growth of trees without underbush, grove. A community of people smaller than a village, hamlet. A group of cattle or sheep or other domestic mammals is herd. A large group of people, horde. A temporary police force, posse. A large number of fish swimming together, shoal. And a strong and fast moving stream of water or other liquid is referred to as torrent. So these are the words which can be substituted with the entire phrase which is written towards the left hand side. Next category is the list of for a person or people. Now, for example, a person who can use his both hands or either of the hand with ease without any problem is referred to as ambidextrous. Ambi means both. So ambi is the root word. Ambi means both and dexter means hand. So one who can use his both hands is referred to as ambidextrous. One who makes an official examinations of accounts is referred to as auditor. A person who believes in or tries to bring out a state of lawlessness is referred to as anarchist. A person who has changed his faith, apostate. One who does not believe in the existence of God, atheist. A person appointed by two parties to solve a dispute is arbitrator. One who leads an austere life, ascetic. A person who is blindly devoted to an idea, or a person displaying aggressive or exaggerated patriotism is chauvinist. A critical judge of any art and craft, connoisseur. Persons living at the same time, contemporaries. One who is recovering health after illness is convalescent. Similarly, we have few more words, like a person having a sophisticated charm is debonair. A person or a leader who sways his followers by his oratory is demagogue. A dabbler in art, science, and literature is referred to as dilettante. One who is for pleasure, for eating and drinking is epicure. One who often talks of his achievements, egotist. Someone who leaves one country to settle in another, emigrant. And there is another word which is not mentioned here, but one who comes into one's country. So he becomes the immigrant in that particular country. But when he leaves his own country to settle in another country, then in his own country, he is referred to as emigrant. A person who is hard to please is fastitude. One who runs away from justice, fugitive. One who is filled with excessive enthusiasm in religious matters, fanatic. One who believes in fate, fatalist. A lover of good food, gourmand. Conferred as an honor, honorary. A person who acts against religion is heretic. A person of intellectual or erudite tastes, highbrow. A patient with imaginary symptoms and ailments, hypochondriac. A person who is controlled by wife, henpeck. One who shows sustained enthusiastic action with unflagging vitality, indefatigable. Someone who attacks cherished ideas or traditional institutions is referred to as iconoclast. One who does not express himself freely, introvert. One who behaves without moral principles, immoral. One who is incapable of being tampered with, impregnable. One who is unable to pay his debts, insolvent. And a person who is mentally ill, lunatic. So these are the few words in which we can substitute the entire phrase denoting a group of people. Next group is for death oblique murder. So a solemn procession, especially for a funeral, it is referred to as cortege. A poem of serious reflection, typically a lament for the dead, is referred to as elegy. Then phrase or form of words written in memory of a person who has died is epitaph. Killing of one's own son or daughter, filicide. Destruction or abortion of a fetus is feticide. Killing of one's brother or sister is fratricide. Killing of larger group of people, genocide. Killing of one person by another, homicide. Killing of infants, infanticide. Killing of one's mother, matricide. Mater, mother. Frater, father. A room or building in which dead bodies are kept, mortuary. A news article that reports the recent death of a person, obituary. Killing of parents or near relatives, parricide. Killing of one's father, patricide. An examination of a dead body to determine the cause of death, post-mortem. Killing of one's sister, sororicide. Act of intentionally causing one's own death, suicide. Killing of one's wife, uxoricide. And our last category is of profession or research, which deals with a person who presents a radio or television program is referred to as anchor. A person who studies the evolution of mankind, anthropologist. A person who is trained to travel in a spacecraft is astronaut. A person who draws or produces maps, cartographer. Person who writes beautiful writing, calligrapher. A person who composes the sequence of steps and moves for a performance of dance, choreographer. A person employed to drive a private or hired car, chauffeur. A person who introduces the performance or contestants in a variety show, compare. A keeper or custodian of a museum or other collection, curator. The branch of biology concerned with cyclical physiological phenomena is chronobiology. A secret way of writing is cipher. The study of statistics, demography. The use of the fingers and hands to communicate and convey ideas, dactylology. A person who sells and arranges cut flowers, florist. A line of descent traced continuously from an ancestor is referred to as genealogy. Next, the therapeutic use of sunlight, heliotherapy. The art or practice of garden cultivation management, horticulture. Next, one who supervises in the examination hall is invigilator. So these were the few categories under which we can substitute the entire phrase. And last category being of sound, like the sound of crow's caw, the sound of geese cackle, sound of hens cluck, sound made by dolphins click, by frogs croak, by crickets creak, by monkeys gibber, by camels grunt, by owls hoot, penguins honk, cattle moo, horses neigh, nightingales pipe, ducks quack, parrots screech, rats squeak, birds twitter, and elephants trumpet. Right? So these are the few sample words or sample phrases that we had brought in front of you, and how those phrases, they can be substituted by a single word to make it more meaningful and to make the English language more beautiful. Clear? So after this, we'll be covering few questions, like the type of questions that might be asked in the competitive examinations. For example, what will be the one word answer for the government, which is responsible for making rules? So the answer would be, one who makes rule is legislature, right? So you have to be very clear, and this is coming from the people, coming from the type of government, and the one word substitution will be legislature under this case. Next question, life history of a person written by that person only. Autobiography, topography, flexography, or biography? It will be autobiography, because the person has himself written about his own life. Whereas if he would have written about someone else's life, about any life, any other person or people, then it will be biography. Next question, one who does not take any alcoholic drink, what is he known as? Is he a saint? Is he a teetotaler? Is he a forestoler or a vegetarian? The answer will be teetotaler, because teetotaler is a person who doesn't take any alcoholic drink. Next, a speech delivered without any previous preparation. Options are A, elocution, B, dialogue, C, extempore, or D, dialect. Correct answer would be C, extempore, where there is no previous preparation has been made to speak out. The person or a child, he speaks on the topic, on the stage, or at any platform at that very particular moment. Next, a disease which attacks many people in a particular area or in one time. Options are A, epidemic, B, pandemic, C, sardonic, or D, academic. Answer will be epidemic, which is attacking many people at in a particular area. Whereas if it would have been attacked many people in different areas everywhere, it will be pandemic. Whatever we had seen during COVID time, it was a pandemic because it had affected all the people at every place and at every corner of the world. Whereas when it is located to a particular area, then it becomes epidemic. Yeah. So in this way, questions might be asked. They might not be in the one word. It can be in the form of fill in the blanks. Even when the comprehension comes over there, also you might be asked about the one word substitution over there. So pattern may be many, but you have to focus upon the area and the categories under which we can use those substitution, and you will come out with flying colors. So thank you all. That's all from my side. Thank you.